The fight is far from over. In today's video, we'll explore the 20 most anticipated upcoming fighting games that are set to shake the genre, from epic one-on-one duels to chaotic multiplayer brawls. Let's dive in and see what's waiting on the horizon. Virtua Fighter is returning not as a simple remake, but as a full rebirth of the legendary fighting series. Built on the Dragon engine by Ryuga Gotoku Studio, this new chapter strips everything down to the essence of martial arts combat: timing, precision, and raw impact. The training stage footage shows exactly what the developers are aiming for: a clean interface, calm camera work, and no unnecessary flash. Every strike feels personal. When Sarah Bryant lands a kick, you feel the force. When Akira takes a heavy hit, the detail is brutal, even a tooth flying out during a knockout. It's violent, but in a strangely elegant way. Alongside returning veterans like Akira and Wolf Hawkfield, now older, scarred, and heavier both in body and spirit, we also see fresh faces such as Stella joining the roster. Dead as Disco is the kind of game that refuses to separate music from action. Here, they are one and the same. You step into the shoes of Charlie Disco, the once dead drummer of a band brought back for one last night of chaos. His mission is clear: face his former bandmates, now famous idols, uncover the truth about their past, and settle it all with rhythm and violence. The gameplay fuses the flow of Arkham-style combat with the precision of rhythm mechanics. Counters, dodges, parries, all must be timed to the beat. As you stay in sync, your fever rush meter builds, letting you unleash explosive combos perfectly matched to the soundtrack. Enemies don't just attack, they move and react to the rhythm, turning every fight into a deadly concert. The Grass of Genesis feels like an interactive action movie, a cinematic adventure blending the exploration and grand spectacle of Tomb Raider with the sharp, deadly precision of John Wick. Developed by Hong Kong studio Well-Link, best known for cloud rendering technology, this is their first major in-house project powered by Unreal Engine 5. The world is designed to stun the eye. Sweeping landscapes drenched in dramatic lighting, environments alive with detail, and cutscenes that transition seamlessly into gameplay. The demo showcases vertical exploration, parkour-style traversal, stealth, close-quarters combat, and fluid gunplay, all tied together with the cinematic pacing of a Hollywood thriller. But the most ambitious promise lies in its technology.
应该摆脱他们了。
春草，我是 PUA 的选你。
Spine takes the concept of gun fu and builds an entire game around it, a high-octane blend of martial arts and firearms wrapped in a stylish cyberpunk story. Developed by Neki, the game follows Redline, a street artist infused with a living combat implant called Spine. With this power, she fights against an oppressive AI regime while desperately trying to save her brother. Every fight is designed to look and feel like a movie. The camera swings dynamically as you unleash combos, vault across walls, or slam enemies into the environment. Gunplay fuses seamlessly with martial arts moves and cinematic flourishes, like slow-motion transitions or brutal finishers. Keep every battle visually striking. To heighten the drama, certain sequences shift perspectives, dropping into side-scrolling or top-down views for maximum impact. Based on the brutal Baki Hanma anime, Blood Arena takes a different approach to the fighting genre. Instead of sprawling rosters and endless modes, it focuses tightly on one-on-one battles against unique, larger-than-life opponents. Developed by Purple Tree SRL and published by Purple Play LLC, this 2D anime-style fighter lands on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch on September 11, 2025. The game features around 12 distinct opponents, each with their own combat style across 5 arenas. Expect special anime-inspired ultimate attacks and an original soundtrack that captures the raw, over-the-top energy of the series. It's more of a boss rush gauntlet than a traditional versus fighter, demanding pattern recognition, quick reactions, and mastery of each enemy's unique rhythm.
Baki Hanma.
Set in the Hitori no Shita, the Outcast universe, the Hidden Ones aims for that sweet spot between grounded martial arts and myth. More Fun Studios under Tencent is building a story-driven experience for PC and mobile, where crisp hand-to-hand combat sits alongside cinematic storytelling. The structure is clear and varied, a chaptered story mode packed with cutscenes, a head-to-head duel mode likely focused on PvP, and a trial mode built around boss encounters. Combat readability is front and center, with cue-based defenses that teach you when to block or dodge, then layer in skill strings and advanced techniques for depth. A pre-alpha playtest ran from early January through early March 2025, giving a first look at pacing and systems. Formerly known as Project Century, Stranger Than Heaven is RGG Studio stepping into a smoky, noir-tinted past. The story moves between eras, beginning in 1915 Japan and jumping forward to moments like 1943, weaving a detective narrative through nightlife, corruption, and moral gray zones. It isn't just about throwing punches, survival-leaning systems pressure you in quieter moments too, with hunger and thirst to manage, social reactions to your behavior, and choices that can stain your reputation. Decisions land hard here. Show mercy or not. Take the easy money or hold the line. And the ripples follow you. The tone is intimate and gritty, with the studio's signature cinematic flair refocused on slower burns and tense investigations rather than street brawler power fantasies.
You're not? So, what are you then?
Sana.
This single-player action RPG adapts the acclaimed comic into a harsher, more personal tale of the last surviving turtle. Developed by Black Forest Games and published by THQ Nordic for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, it follows one warrior through ruin, grief, and calculated vengeance. The fantasy isn't four brothers cracking jokes, it's one fighter carrying their memory. A quieter city, heavier steps, and weapons that feel like heirlooms. Expectations are high because the source material hits hard, and the game's promise is fidelity, tone, mood, and consequence. Production has faced turbulence, including significant staff cuts back in early 2024, and there hasn't been a steady stream of new gameplay to settle nerves about combat polish, pacing, or encounter design.
You guys don't wake him up soon? I'm eating the last bagel.
Hey, Sleeping Beauty. Wake up. We got things to do.
Riot's 2 XKO is a free-to-play, 2 vs 2 tag team fighter that turns League of Legends champions into a high-velocity duet. You build a pair, a point, and an assist, and weave them together mid-match, calling in support to extend strings, flip pressure, or save a bad read. Mobility is expressive right out of the gate with jumps, dashes, and air dashes, while the core language stays approachable with light, medium, heavy, and distinct specials. Under the hood, team synergy is the real meta. Fuse mechanics, assist routes, and on-the-fly swaps create that thrilling, we-rehearse-this feel when it all clicks. A closed beta on PC starts September 9th, 2025. The launch roster taps crowd favorites: Ari, Jinx, Vi, Yasuo, Echo, Braum, Illaoi, Darius, and more. And the visual identity leans stylish and readable, built for spectatorship as much as competition.
Keep 'em guessing. All day. Yeah. I'd hate to fight.
Capcom's revival brings Onimusha back with the RE engine and a dark fantasy Kyoto shrouded in malice. Genma horrors seep through the streets, and at the center stands Miyamoto Musashi, his likeness drawn from Toshiro Mifune and his fate bound to the Oni Gauntlet, a relic that drinks souls to unlock power. Swordplay is immediate and tactile, with parries that snap like gunshots and the classic Isen-style precision rewarding perfect timing. Stages push forward with boss arenas, environmental opportunism, and puzzle-flavored beats, aiming for accessibility without dulling the edge that series veterans expect. The campaign targets roughly 20 hours for a first run, shaped as a primarily linear journey with side quests and optional detours to deepen your kit.
Words never did work between us, did they? Sasaki Ganyu.
Age of Wushu was once one of the most ambitious wuxia MMORPGs, letting players live out martial arts fantasies in an open world full of clans, rivalries, and free-form PvP. Now there are whispers of a return, rumors that Snail Games might be bringing the title into Unreal Engine 5, with a possible playtest sometime in 2025. Official confirmation hasn't landed yet, and details remain murky, but the community buzzes with hope. The dream is simple: a modernized Age of Wushu, where ancient schools clash in vast cities and open landscapes, where every duel carries honor, betrayal, or glory. Nothing is locked in for now. No dates, no features revealed, but if the project truly exists, it could reawaken one of the most unique martial arts sandboxes ever created. Project The Perceiver is an open-world action game from Paper Games and 17, ZHE Studio that dives into a world built on ideals and masks. Each mask embodies a belief, and by donning it you inherit its strength, its fighting style, and its story. Set in a dark, shifting fantasy landscape, the game blends fluid combat with exploration across desolate villages, towering ruins, and sweeping wildlands. Early demos have shown lengthy slices of gameplay, over 40 minutes of duels, traversal, and cinematic action, hinting at a combat system that favors adaptability and theatrical clashes. Platforms are confirmed for PS4, PS5, and PC, though the spotlight is clearly on the newer generation. It's still early, with rough edges to be polished, but Project The Perceiver wants to be a stage where philosophy itself is fought over, blow by blow. Ghost of Yotei carries forward the spirit of Ghost of Tsushima, shifting the story to Hokkaido in the year 1603. You step into the role of Atsu, a wandering mercenary scarred by loss and driven by vengeance. His path is defined by the hunt for the Yotei Six, formidable enemies who each hold a piece of his destiny. The game paints Hokkaido in stunning detail: snow-carved valleys, shimmering auroras, rugged forests, and hot springs tucked away in frozen landscapes. Swordplay remains at the heart of the experience, joined now by early firearms and new tools of war, while stealth and open exploration return richer and more varied. Missions unfold non-linearly, allowing you to choose the order in which you strike down the Yotei Six, shaping the story through your decisions. Phantom Blade Zero is a dark wuxia action RPG from S-Game, where every encounter is painted in fast, balletic violence. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the game marries fluid martial arts with razor-edged weapon combat, swift strikes, weapon switching mid-flow, and special moves that burst with cinematic flair. Its aesthetic is moody and heavy, a world dripping with atmosphere, rain-soaked streets, candle-lit temples, and enemies who demand both skill and patience. Previews have already highlighted its stunning visuals, with ray tracing and high-detail lighting pushing it into filmic territory. Though developers stress it isn't leaning on every UE5 showcase feature, combat promises accessibility. Easier to pick up than punishing Souls-likes, but mastery comes from rhythm, combo flow, and precise timing.
This is here!
After 11 years in development, Lost Soul Aside finally launched on August 29, 2025 for PS5 and PC, but its release has been turbulent. Ulta Zero Games delivered an ambitious action RPG brimming with style, but early reviews, especially on PC, point to technical issues: frame drops, awkward animations, invisible walls, and clunky navigation. Still, the developer has been quick to respond. Multiple patches have already gone live, improving performance, refining combat balance, upgrading animations, and tackling quality-of-life complaints.
I will stop Aramon.
Once you step through this door, anything could happen, Kaiser. Are you ready?
Project E is NCSoft's mysterious sibling to Throne and Liberty, set on the same planet but in a very different land. While Throne and Liberty focuses on its Western-inspired continent, Project E shifts eastward, promising a medieval fantasy world steeped in Eastern traditions. Early cinematic trailers have teased sweeping landscapes, armored warriors, and hints of large-scale conflict. But gameplay remains hidden. The concept is ambitious. 2 games, 2 continents, 1 shared universe, but development has been clouded by uncertainty. Rumors swirl about delays, restructuring, even possible scaling down, though none of it is confirmed. What's clear is that Project E is still alive on NCSoft's roadmap, with PC confirmed as a platform and TBA marking its release. Where Winds Meet is an open-world wuxia epic from Everstone Studios, set during the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period in the 10th century China. You play as a young swordsman navigating a land torn by war, shifting loyalties, and questions of identity. The world is vast, over 20 distinct regions across roughly 20 square kilometers, alive with weather, wildlife, and countless NPCs shaping its rhythm. Combat is fluid and diverse, with swords, spears, dual blades, mystic techniques, and stealth options, allowing you to fight as boldly or as subtly as you wish. The Messiah engine powers the game, giving it a unique visual identity distinct from UE5 or RE engine titles. Beyond combat, the game embraces exploration and freedom, weaving in MMO-style systems, multiplayer features, and cross-platform play across PC, PS5, and even mobile in some regions.
When the world falls silent, my blade speaks for them!
Tenet of the Spark is a cinematic action adventure by Roar Games centered on Will, a modern-day boxer who discovers he can channel the spirits of his ancestors. Through this mysterious spark, he shifts between timelines, embodying the ferocity of a Viking warrior, the agility of an Aztec fighter, and the grit of his own fists in the present. Gameplay flows between eras, letting you solve puzzles, traverse different landscapes, and unleash unique combat styles tied to each ancestor. One moment you're trading blows in a neon-lit gym, the next you're storming a Viking battleground or navigating Aztec ruins alive with traps and gods. Each era feels distinct, with its own enemies, environments, and challenges. The concept merges narrative weight with gameplay variety, turning heritage into both story and mechanic.
Or why did this train car turn into a...
Watch up!
We're not dropping Boxer, have a Viking for the great groups, PC and consoles. Follow. You can start with classic 1-2, then send your opponent across the arena with your hammer. Switch
Axe
again.
of Blood is a gritty third-person beat-em-up from Excel Team, set in a dystopian Bandung, Indonesia. You play as Hendra, a law student whose family is destroyed by his father's ruthless rival. Betrayed by a corrupt legal system, Hendra takes justice into his own hands, carving a path of vengeance through alleys, nightclubs, and neon-soaked streets. Combat is fast and brutal, mixing hand-to-hand strikes, grapples, and finishers with weapons like knives, bats, and even firearms. Every object in the environment can be turned into a weapon, every fight a dance of destruction. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the game emphasizes destructible settings, cinematic combos, and raw impact. A free demo already offers a taste on Steam, and players describe it as sharp and punishing, like a spiritual cousin to Sifu. The Legend of Jin Yong's Heroes is one of the most ambitious wuxia projects ever attempted, an open-world RPG from Create AI built in Unreal Engine 5 and rooted in the beloved novels of Jin Yong. This isn't a single storyline but an entire literary universe woven together, covering over 120 iconic scenes from 15 novels, spanning 300 years of martial arts history. The world's size alone is staggering, with talk of nearly 960 square kilometers to explore. Mountains, rivers, towns, and battlefields, all brought to life with cinematic scale. The project aims to capture the philosophy, politics, romance, and duels that define Jin Yong's work with a playable world where every blade carries weight and every alliance has consequence. Platforms are confirmed for PC and PlayStation 5, with a tentative full release set for 2028, though earlier demos or previews may surface around 2026.